Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This of course is another anime reaction video. Today we are getting into more Death Parade. Really excited to get more into it because we've just been building so much intrigue up in these past few episodes, especially the last two episodes, especially because we got to meet new characters that live in the sort of a Queen Dekim area. I assume obviously it's not all called Queen Dekim because Queen Dekim was just like the 15th level, I think. There's a bunch of other places on different floors, but we don't worry about that. There's just a ton of people that work similar jobs like Ginty. Ginty's really interesting, and what I'm really curious about is, the thing I'm like most curious about right now is still Mayu, I think is what her name was from the last episode, who is in the OP a few times, but is just a normal human. I have no idea what they're going to do with her in the future, and I probably won't find out for a little bit, because before anything else I'm going to react to the OVA, Death Billiards, the original OVA that was submitted before, and then it got such like high rewards or recognition or whatever that it became a full-length 12-episode series. Really excited to see how this all began, and I'm curious as to why, because when I looked it up, this is around the time that some people said online to watch this, around the 6 or 7 episode mark. I can go look that up again real quick though, just in case. To watch Death Billiards. Okay, so yeah, it's best recommended to watch it in between episode 6 and 7 or between 7 and 8. So I'm gonna do it now. So without further ado, as always, links down in the description below unless you're new here. As always, unless you're new here, links down in the description below will take you to the full-length uncut reaction. You can go there, watch the reaction, come back to YouTube, or you can watch the discussion. Without further ado, let's get started with the episode. Death Billiards. Not even a numbered episode, but it's fine. So definitely the first episode was a way better introduction, so I'm definitely glad I waited until now to watch Death Billiards, because this was pretty good, but I just felt like it was overall kind of lacking, you know what I mean? Definitely the official first episode of Death Parade was a lot better of an introduction, and I think the drama between the two people dying together who know each other helped to set the sort of tone that most of these games will be going through. There's still definitely some different things going for each episode, each struggle, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it, and as I was pointing out in the episode, there's certain elements through this episode that you just kind of see throughout, that get taken from this episode and given their own individual episode, like, because a lot of these moments are from various different episodes from the past 6 episodes. Scattered throughout them are certain things taken from this, and I think that's really interesting, and I think they're a lot more effective in those episodes, mostly because and I'm no expert. I'm gonna have a hard time explaining this out loud, but it's like the sort of way that it's just like the way they execute everything in the main series just seems a lot overall higher in quality, I guess you could say, and because of that, the certain moments they're giving us are really work, and I'm kind of glad, or I'm kind of interested by why they thought they should have it so that the wounds from when they died are sort of still there, and that's part of, like, to help or to show that, yeah, they are in fact dead, because they can still feel it, or like gradually as they start to realize that they're dead, they start to like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, I am dead because I have these wounds. But then I can see why they would want to get rid of that, because if they wanted to have, like, especially the first episode where they died in a car crash, their bodies would be mangled all the hell. Same thing with the second episode, well, third episode, I think, because third episode was with the bowling game and the childhood friends that have one last date before they both get reincarnated, I think. I can't remember. And then yeah, a lot of car accident related deaths. Interesting how that goes as well. But yeah, it's still great, because it's basically another Death Parade episode, but definitely not as high quality as a lot of the episodes in games that are in the main series. So I don't know what I would give main series out of 10 if I were to give it an out of 10 score. I don't know what I would give it just yet, because I haven't finished it yet, obviously. But whatever it is, I'll probably give Death Billiards 1 point lower than that, maybe 2. depending on how I feel after I sit on it for a while, because obviously, having just watched the episode, obviously there's going to be some recency bias in terms of my assessment of the actual episode. But really interesting to just like generally see how it started. Looking at the actual background on my anime list, Death Billiards is one of 4 anime works that each received 38 million yen, about $480,000, from the 2012 Young Animator Training Project. Just like in 2010 and 2011, the Animator Labor Group received 214.5 million yen, or $2.65 million US, from the Japanese government's Agency for Cultural Affairs, and distributed most of the funds to studios who train young animators on the job. The film was later expanded into a 2015 TV anime, Death Parade. Very good, very, very good. High quality, and I really can't wait to see. It's gonna be a little bit jarring because I'm gonna be going back to the really good shit, so to speak, of the actual main series, but without saying anything more, because that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. Let's get started with the main series again, episode 7 of Death Parade. This episode was really cool. I especially liked the addressing of the past. I like that flashback where we got to see what would essentially be training on the job, so to speak, with Dekim, because obviously that wasn't technically his first day as an arbiter. He wasn't an arbiter yet. He was just watching to see what goes on before he actually takes up the position officially, which is really interesting. And I kind of really enjoyed the interaction at the bar after the game was over, where he was saying he forgot about pressing the button because he was just interested in seeing the game and what they were thinking, which is pretty cool. And it clearly shocked Nona as well. I don't know if that was because he already had, or what, with the whole human emotions being injected into him thing that we're bringing up with Nona, who seems to have been doing that. For what reason? Who knows? For now, Oculus seems like the closest thing to God. I think they mentioned in the past 2 episodes that God left this place a long time ago type thing. But he clearly has some sort of like power over like Nona, in fact, because I think he was the original manager before her, from if I'm remembering correctly, and she's very clearly hiding this whole thing from him. So it makes me wonder, what exactly would he do if he were to find out? What would Oculus do if he were to find out that she was doing this, giving human emotions to a puppet when they're not supposed to have those by those laws that were recited by Oculus at the beginning? And also begs the question, who came up with those laws? Was it you, Oculus, or was it God? Who knows for sure? All I know for sure is that I'm glad we finally got to meet Quinn, by the way. That was really cool. All I really know for sure is that there's a lot of intrigue going on right here. A lot of things in the background, a lot of mysteries that need to be solved at some point. I'm not even close to being able to come up with an idea where this could potentially go in the future. But all I do know is that in the very close future, we're going to have a really cool episode, probably next episode, episode 8, where some specially marked or something humans that have died is, by Nona's request and bribe, kind of, being directly sent to Dekim for some reason. And I'm sure we'll find out the reason, but I'm sure this is mostly supposed to be like a test to see how he'll react in this certain special case, because again, like it was being said, this is some sort of like special case. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see what this special case is. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. Can't wait to get to the next episode, episode 8 of Death Parade. Shit, I was kind of leaning towards that. I was thinking maybe it was just in their minds. I was thinking it might have been like, maybe like, oh well, my sister was assaulted, and I would assume an assault victim wouldn't want anyone to touch them, but it's like, what if the brother did it? Because some sort of like weird possessive thing, like I took care of you after our parents died, you better respect my household and my everything I did for you, say thank you. bitch, something like that. Ugh. I well, that wasn't meant to be funny. That's really fucked up if that's true. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I don't know what happened to me there for a second, but we don't have all the information on their home life, so we don't have any. But we know for a fact they were both the killers. So that was, yeah. Maybe I should have skipped. I should have skipped that. That end credit scene. Was not expecting that, but this was a really cool episode. This is probably one of my favorite games yet, because there was a lot of great games. The games have only gotten better, I'd say. The first one in episode 1 was cool. It was really interesting. But more so, I was interested in the dynamic they had. And then the date was adorable and wholesome. And then I liked the whole idea about, family, and, and it kind of plays with the concept of you only realize what you have when it's gone, which is really sad. But that's kind of what was happening in that episode. And then, what was after that? I don't remember exactly what it was after that, but then I obviously remember the idol and the fangirl. That was a good episode. Episode 5. What was episode 5? Episode 5 wasn't a game, that's right. It was almost a game, but then they were like, psych, it was just a test. Testing our people. But this is really cool because it's so... They're setting up the tension and the expectation that one of these is a murder, and the whole, because the tension of waiting to figure out exactly what happened to the characters, and as to why they're in the situation, that's all gone, because we've known from the beginning, after like the first game, even partway through the first game, that these people are dead. They have been dead. They will not continue to live after this game. It was a really interesting thing, but now they're doing something completely different, because now that mystery can no longer, excite or stimulate the audience. Not only they're hitting you with mysteries regarding the people that sort of run this whole operation, they're hitting you with a mystery of who the fuck is the killer, because they set up one of them as a killer, and then they're feeding you all of these hints that make you think, oh god, which one is the murderer? Well, obviously the slickback guy is really suspicious. He's got a scary face. It might be him. But wait a minute. What if they want to trick us, and it's actually the kid that's the killer? It's the one you don't expect. Oh, and he even has a knife. But then, like... And then it just hit you with, like, a million different things that make you question what it actually is. Obviously, ending scene spoiled it. Though I still don't know how we'll get to that point, and, so many people will vouch for the saying, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. So even though I know that they're both killers at this point, it's been definitively said by the series, I don't know what it was, or why they killed the people they did, who they killed, and how they themselves died. So either way, it'll still be really, really interesting to see how that goes. Real quick before we finish up this video, there was one thing I wanted to look up. There's actually a couple things I just realized that I need to look up, real quick. I forgot her name. Oh, there we go. Kristen Shaw. I think it's the haircut, but a lot of the characters' faces for some reason reminded me of Kristen Shaw. This woman on screen right now reminded me of her. But the hair specifically on Quinn reminded me of her. Now, real quick, just gonna go check on a couple other things. I need to go back to Death Billiards just real quick because, yep, Otoko, which was the guy, the 30-something-year-old guy in Death Billiards, voiced by Yuichi Nakamura, of course, the god himself. I'll look up the actual Death Parade page. Let's see. I'll probably have to go to Shimada. Shimada, voiced by Sakurai Takahiro. Apparently the English voice was Todd Haberkorn. Or Clifford Chapman? I don't know, one of those two. Todd Haberkorn I like a lot. I like his voice. Who does this guy voice? Oh, he's the Japanese voice of Berserk, or of Griffith from Berserk, not Berserk. He voiced Izuru Kira from Bleach. Interesting. Oh, Suzaku Kururuki from Code Geass. What did I think his voice was? I can't even remember now. Nobody else that I'm noticing that I recognize. So I don't know why it just sounded familiar to me for some reason. But it was cool that I looked it up. Oh, Zombie Man. See, I read the manga for One Punch Man. That's where Zombie Man is from. So I know Zombie Man is a badass. He didn't get very much screen time in the anime yet, but in the manga, where I'm at in the manga right now, because I only read physical, he's really cool. Yeah, that looks about it that I recognize him. Yeah, alright. Was that everything I wanted to look up? It was! Hey, I did it. I didn't forget this time. I'm pretty sure I didn't forget anything about this. But that's pretty much all I had to say about this episode. Really great episode, really setting up a lot of great mysteries. This is the first time, I think, that we've had a two-parter story arc where the rest of the story will have to be finished in the next episode. For the most part, they set up mysteries for the rest of the series, but it's usually never anything that's directly connected to the next episode. You know what I mean? If that makes sense at all. It's not like... it's more like the game is extending over the course of 2 episodes, which has never happened in this series so far. Because obviously they've done cliffhangers where you have to watch the next episode, like with episode 7, where they were teasing the special case that was going to be appearing in the next episode. But fuck, as much as I want to, I'm not going to be watching the next episode yet. Episode 9, that's for next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. Thank you once again for watching. Peace.